Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be drawing, you guessed it, Squidward, SpongeBob's next door neighbor, the kind of cynical, grumpy guy. So you need paper and pencil, whatever you have to draw with today. Some crayons is what I used, and that's about it. So it's going to take about maybe 15 minutes, but I'm going to show you a few examples of what I've done here. So what I did is I took my paper and I divided it into quarters. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to do. This is how I started making Squidward. And then I did the same thing with Homer, okay? Because I'm trying to make them symmetrical so they're balanced, all right? So, but you can see the difference between this one and Homer. Homer, I put side by each. This one I turned upside down. It kind of worked out better because of the shape of the head. Otherwise, there would not have been enough room for each head side by side. Then I did a couple of unicorns, all right? So we got a couple of unicorns here. So again, sideways rectangle, and then these little swirly shapes. All right, super simple. Two unicorns. All right, and then I did a couple of aliens, a couple of rhombuses on the side. All right, really super simple drawing. So you can do any of these. Then I went and I tried to jump in, and I just did half a face, and I divided this into half and then quarters. All right, then I did half a face. All right, and if you wanted to put your name over here or design, you can. Okay, so, and this is another example of what I did for a class. And lastly is this one here, is I did a boy and a girl, a gull and a buoy. So they don't line up, and you can see that they're somewhat proportional. And I did this as mixed medium. There's crayons and markers mixed underneath that to try to create some texture. And you notice I didn't use realistic colors. You don't have to use realistic colors. Okay, so with your pencil, okay, you're gonna take and divide your paper into half, just like that, okay? Again, during the video, if I'm drawing too fast and you need to pause it or slow it down, just to work at your own speed and do that. Don't worry about trying to keep up with me. All right, I always suggest you watch the video first so you have an idea what I'm talking about, what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw one side and then draw the other, okay? You're gonna be flip-flopping your paper back and forth. Okay, I have mine taped for now, but I'm going to be removing that. Okay, so let's start by drawing letter C. I'm gonna start over here, and it's gonna fit into this box here. All right, draw it till you're happy, and then draw a C. Now, I suggest that you draw it lightly. All right, and then if you need to erase it, you can. Always draw lightly, my first rule of drawing. Flip it the other way, all right, move. Flip it the other way, and then draw another letter C. Don't worry if they're not exactly the same size, it's okay. This is your sketch, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and take and make the side of the head. So I'm gonna make a curved line that comes down like this, a little curved line on this side, and then flip it over this way. Make another curved line. I'm gonna grab my Squidward so I can go back and forth. Okay, that's that curved line we made right here. You can see that letter C. Eventually we're gonna get rid of this line here, okay? Now we're gonna make his nose. Now his nose starts roughly in the middle of this line. So if you wanna divide this line in half, put a line over there, like that on this side, and then over there there's already one there close to it. I'm gonna put one there. That's where our nose is gonna start. So that's the top of our nose, and it's gonna get rather big on the bottom and then come back up again. Okay, so it's smaller and then gets bigger on the bottom. Okay, and then flip it over and then do the other one over here and make it. Squidward has a big nose. Try to make them the same size until you're happy, and then later on you can erase your lines and outline it with black. Okay, now the mouth is super easy. It looks like another squashed letter C. It's gonna start right here, right into the nose, and it's gonna come down at a slight diagonal and then curve and then back up again. Looks like a long skinny hot dog. Not skinny, kind of fat actually. Okay, I'm gonna turn over the other side. Start over here. And then curl up. Make sure it has a little bit of a turn right here, a little bit of a turn, because that makes it a little bit more organic so it doesn't look too hard edge. All right, so now we're gonna put his frowny face, okay, and then put a little hash line on the end like that. flip it over, come over there, just like that, and then make another diagonal line like that. Pretty easy, huh? Squidward's almost done. You can see the shape of his head and everything. So now I'm going to put the neck. He's got a skinny, super skinny neck. So right about where the nose is here, just put a line going down there. And then flip it over the other side and put a line going down there. Right there, right there. Good. Okay, so his eye almost sits on his nose, okay? It's going to be a U shape, but one side of the U is going to be higher than the other. And I'll show you what I mean, okay? So I'm going to start above this line, okay? And I'm going to come over close to the edge of this and then turn in and then up. A little bit lower right there. So you can see this top, and this one's a little bit higher. Okay? Draw it till you're happy, and then flip over to the other side. Okay, again, I know it's with the cow references today, but there we go. And then another one over there, just like that. Okay, good. Now we're gonna put the top over here, kind of like his eyebrow. All right. So I'm gonna take and put a line that starts over here, goes over like that. And I'm gonna flip on the other side. Now, when you outline this with marker, if you have a thick marker, this is a line that I would make a lot darker because it is his eyebrow. And I'm going to do that in a minute to show you that. And I'm going to color it pretty quickly just to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Now, Squidward is basically like a grayish color. So you can make him that grayish bluish color if you want to, or you can make him any color you want. Now, this line already kind of lays in pretty good for the eye. My camera's bouncing. This already lays in good for your eyelid, so we're going to go ahead and put that eyelid. So just come in and make that go across like that, and then flip over. Now this one doesn't come in, it's a little bit too low, so I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Okay, making adjustments as I go along. Now Squidward has a red eye, a red iris with a black dot in the middle of it. So in here I'm just going to make a small circle and then put a small dot in the middle of it like that. Later on when I do my marker work, I'll put that black dot in there and then color that red. There's no outline around his red dot, so I'm not going to outline that. Okay, and again, another circle with a small dot. There is Squidward. Now I think Squidward on top of his head has like 8 little freckles, 8 or 9 little freckles. So I'm going to put some small little random freckles on the top, maybe just 5, and then flip it over and then do the other side. I'm not putting them in a straight row. Just kind of being random about it, and different sizes. Okay, so that is done. So let me get my black marker, and I'm going to outline it. Now this is permanent marker. I'm going to outline it, and the thing about marker is try to get used to trying to draw your lines nice and smooth without any stops. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Now, this is the one I said to make it thicker. So what I'm going to do there is just maybe triple line that a little bit darker like that. You can see that's thicker than this. Okay, and I'll make this U here. And then a small little dot. His eyelid. And then the frowny face. The neck. Super easy. Okay, spin them over. Do the other side. Now, all these lines that I have with pencil, if you've drawn them light enough, you will be able to erase them. Okay. Now you could do this as a painting. If you have pastels, you could do it pastels. It'd be really cool to do it with pastels because you can blend your colors and you can really do some ombre effects where you can go from light to dark and do some shadowing. Okay. And some transitions. You can transition with crayons, it's just a little bit harder. Okay, I did some transitioning here with crayons. I'm going to show you how you do that with black. Okay, so he's all done. Now I'm going to come in and I never throw crayons away, even the little tiny little bits like this. I like working with the small pieces like this most of all. So if you can find some small crayon bits like this is a fatty one, all right? So it's easier for me to hold it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just, I'm gonna go on the edge. Now when I pinch my crayon, you maybe see this before, I'm gonna exaggerate with showing you another crayon. I'm not pinching it in the middle. I'm pinching it towards the end of the crayon And what that does, it gets this kind of effect where you can see that it's going to feather out. So if I pinch in the middle, it looks like that. If I pinch on the end of the crayon, I get a hard edge, but I get a softer edge on the other side. See, a hard edge, but softer. So I like that little transition, that blending thing that I can do there. So this way, when I go into my next color, I can soften that into that, and it helps with the blending part. Okay, so practice that technique on a scrap piece of paper. You know, moving your crayon so you can get these different strokes. You can always, and you can see how that I get that nice little pointy stroke too. I like doing that too, that flick. So practice that flick too with your wrist. In a way, it's a good thing. It's a good textural thing for your drawings. Don't be afraid to practice on scrap paper. Not everything is a masterpiece. Okay, sometimes it's just a piece of cheese. Okay, so I'm gonna go around and put a little dark over there, a little bit on the side of his face. I'm trying to think where light's gonna hit objects. Now on the bottom of the face over here, I'm gonna turn it so it works for me. All right, I'm always moving my paper so it works for me. Because I'm thinking about where there's shadows. It's gonna be darker on the bottom of his nose than the top. And underneath his chin is gonna be darker. Maybe he's got a little shadow underneath his eyelid. Okay, I'm always gonna go lighter because I can always get darker. All right, I'm not gonna do the other one. I'm just gonna show you one, and then later on you can do the other. Okay, so the same thing, I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bottom of his eyelid. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my balu. All right, now, I think it's just a regular plain old blue. Blue. And I'm gonna kinda like blend it in there, like that. All right, I'm gonna put in a little bit in my black. Again, I'm not afraid to leave a little bit of the white of my paper too. If I want to leave a little bit of a highlight on the top, you can. You can blend it. I can also introduce some gray here too. Add a little piece of gray, and that'll help transition that blue to, all right, that'll be kind of like a blender. All right. Okay, and then just keep working it until you're happy. Try to go in the direction of his head. You see his head's round, so I'm going in a round stroke. This is this way. Okay, and I'm going to keep working it until I'm totally happy, and then when I'm done, I'll stop, and then maybe I'll do it again, and then maybe I'll do it again. I think I've drawn this like 5 times now, and every time I do it, it's a little bit different. So for his little tiny dots in his head, I may take a black or a dark blue, and then just make these little tiny interstices, those little tiny lines. Okay, and then for the eyes, they're red. Now, that's not the true Squidward red. I just grabbed this randomly out of the box. All right, so again, that's not a true Squidward color, but it works. So try that feathering technique with the blending. All right, see how you like it. And for the background, this one here, again, all I did was I took some small pieces of yellow. All right, and again, I made my strokes going side to side just to change the direction. Pushing, plowing my crayon. All right, hope you like this video, and you do some of your own cartoon characters. You can do your own, you can do whatever cartoon character you want. I didn't grab a blue this time. This time I grabbed the pink. All right, so you can change it up. All right, I'm moving pretty fast here. Again, I'm still pinching that crayon towards the end, so I get that feathered stroke. All right, so, and voila, that's what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so again, if you want to do your own cartoon characters or your own faces, I'd like to see it. If you want to share some of your drawings, you can send them to my website. There you go. And everybody loves Homer. All right, guys, take care. I hope you're being kind, safe, and helpful. Take care, and we'll see you in a little bit.